Old man Miles worked at the old city cemetery for almost 40 years. His wife had died long ago, and he had no children. It seemed that no one was waiting for him at home. Neighbors said that he had become like the marble angels that stand over graves. Miles was a quiet and calm man, as if worn out by time. Everyone knew that Miles never left the cemetery after sunset. He said that a caretaker must respect the peace of the dead, and he never told the truth about why he didn't leave the cemetery at night. The November wind whipped against the old iron gates of the cemetery when the city council informed Miles, "This is your last week, Mr. Miles. The city has decided to hire a younger worker to replace you." The old man listened, nodding his head, his eyes empty. He knew that none of them understood what he had been doing here all these years, and no one should understand. The day of his last shift arrived. In the evening, when darkness fell, Miles took a lantern and walked along the path among the graves. He came to a crypt that no one ever visited. There was always a broken lock on its door, but no one dared to remove it, not because they were afraid of the dead, but because deep inside the crypt they could hear quiet sounds like whispers. Miles stopped at the door, and a quiet voice whispered from inside, "You're back." The old man closed his eyes and exhaled, "I promised." Miles unlocked the door, opened the heavy wooden door, and stepped inside the crypt. On the first step, he saw a fresh drop of moisture. Miles bent down, ran his finger over it, and realized it wasn't water. It was something red, sticky, thick, and he knew what it was. Down below, in the darkness, he heard muffled breathing. He raised his lantern, illuminating the walls covered with simple words: greed, envy, betrayal, lies, lust. Miles knew that this crypt was for those who were buried without ceremony, without prayers. The city preferred not to know where those whose evil could not be judged in life disappeared to. He knew one simple truth: in order for evil not to return, someone had to stay with it. And for 40 years, he had done just that. A hand appeared on the step below. It slid down the step and tried to grab his leg. It wasn't a skeleton, but what looked like a human hand. Miles didn't back away. "Not today," he whispered. "Today." The voice from the depths grew louder. "If you leave, who will stay with us?" The lantern trembled in his hands. The old man didn't know what to say. He was just guarding the cemetery, and he thought that was enough. Miles always knew that evil must have a guardian. At that moment, a second hand appeared on the step, and outside, the bell rang. Someone was standing at the old iron gate at the entrance to the cemetery, ringing the bell insistently. It was a young man in a bright jacket with the city emblem. He was a new employee. He had come to meet old Mr. Miles, even though it was long past midnight. "Mr. Miles, where are you?" the young man repeated several times. When he received no answer, he opened the gate and entered the cemetery. After walking a short distance along the old path among the graves, he stopped. He saw a dark spot leading to the crypt. Near the open door, on the first step, lay List's lantern. Approaching the door, he shouted into the darkness, "Mr. Miles, are you there? Did you go down there?" There was no answer. He picked up the lantern from the step. There was a thick red liquid on it. He heard a quiet voice downstairs. It sounded like the old man was asking for help. "Mr. Miles?" The young caretaker thought for a second, then started to go down. Meanwhile, old man Miles stood in front of a stone sarcophagus that had never been opened. At some point, the darkness inside the crypt stirred. The stone of the sarcophagus cracked, and a dull groan echoed through the crypt. "You can't keep us here anymore." "You won't get out," said Miles. "I promised." "Your time is up." The old man understood. Today would be his last shift. Literally, he was no longer a guard. He would become one of them. "Then I'll come with you, and I'll hold you back from the inside," Miles croaked. Miles stepped forward, touching the cracked sarcophagus with his hand. His skin became cold, as if it too belonged to the crypt. He exhaled. "Take me." The echo howled like 1,000 voices bursting out. When the young caretaker went downstairs, he saw only one silhouette. The old man stood by the sarcophagus. His face was calm. Too calm. "Mr. Miles." The old man turned around, his voice no longer belonging to the living. "You can't be here." "I'm your new partner," said the young man. "Partner?" The old man's eyes became empty. "There can only be one caretaker here." That night, the town heard the clanging of the iron gates at the cemetery. In the morning, they were locked from the inside. No one ever saw Old Man Miles again. Nor did they see the young employee. The residents said they could hear footsteps in the cemetery, heavy footsteps, as if someone were walking with a lantern, lighting the way among the graves. However, if you listen carefully, you can hear other footsteps. Those that follow him are always slightly behind, as if someone is waiting for the guard to make a mistake, as if someone is waiting very patiently to come out.